Healing often begins with a question we don't know how to answer. How do I accept what hurts me while also trying to become someone who no longer suffers from it? This is the tension at the heart of every human struggle, the pull between accepting our reality and the urge to transform it. Most people lean toward one side without even realizing it. They either force themselves to get over it, pushing change too quickly, or they sink into their pain, believing acceptance means staying wounded forever. But real healing lives in the space between these two extremes, a space where honesty meets responsibility, where compassion meets growth. Acceptance is the moment you stop pretending. It's the moment you stop running from the truth of your body, your emotions, your memories. When you tell yourself, this is how I feel, this is where I am right now, something softens inside you, not because the pain becomes smaller, but because the war against yourself finally pauses. Acceptance is not passive, it's not resignation. It's the courage to look directly at what you've been avoiding without turning away, without blaming yourself, without rushing to fix it. It creates an inner stillness, a sense of grounding, a sense of being on your own side. And then there is change, the part of healing that feels like a doorway you're afraid to open. Change demands movement. Change asks you to interrupt old survival patterns, even when they once protected you. It requires trust, practice, and sometimes the willingness to fall apart before you rise differently. Many people misunderstand change as perfection, but real change is slow, uneven, and deeply human. It is not about becoming someone else, it's about becoming someone more aligned with who you truly are beneath the wounds. The paradox is that acceptance and change depend on each other. You cannot change a pattern you haven't fully recognized, and you cannot accept something if part of you is desperately trying to outrun it. Acceptance gives you stability, a foundation. Change gives you direction, a path forward. When they work together, healing becomes less like a battle and more like a collaboration between your past and your future. Your nervous system stops fighting itself. Your mind stops treating discomfort as danger. Your emotions stop feeling like enemies that need to be shut down. Most people feel frustrated during healing because they expect one side to solve everything. They say, if I just accept this, maybe it will stop hurting. Or, if I just change fast enough, maybe I won't have to feel this anymore. But neither works alone. Healing is not a straight line, it's a rhythm. Some days you need acceptance, to sit with your feelings, to breathe through them, to let them exist without fear. Other days you need change, to set boundaries, to choose a healthier response, to challenge a belief that no longer serves you. And the truth is, both are equally sacred. Acceptance honors the pain that shaped you. Change honors the life you still deserve to live. Together, they form a balance, a dialectic that lets you grow without abandoning yourself. When most people finally understand this balance, something unexpected happens. They begin to see that healing is not about choosing one side. It's about learning when each side is needed. There are moments when acceptance is the most transformative thing you can offer yourself. Moments when your body is overwhelmed, when your emotions rise like a wave, when your mind feels crowded with thoughts you never asked for. In those moments, pushing for change only adds pressure. It tells your system you're not good enough yet, you're still failing. But acceptance says, you are allowed to feel this, you are allowed to be here. And that simple permission can calm storms you've battled for years. Yet there will also be moments when acceptance becomes a hiding place, when staying where you are starts to feel safer than risking growth. Trauma often teaches the body that familiarity is safer than freedom, even if that familiarity hurts. So change becomes frightening, not because it is wrong, but because it asks you to step into a version of yourself you have not met yet. Change whispers, you can try something different. You can choose a new response. You can rewrite the pattern. At first, this feels like betrayal of the person you had to be to survive. But over time, you realize it is not betrayal at all. It is evolution. The beautiful part of this paradox is that both acceptance and change are skills. They grow with practice. At first, acceptance might feel like defeat. Change might feel impossible, but as you strengthen these muscles, your relationship with yourself begins to shift. You stop treating your emotions as enemies. You stop believing that healing requires perfection. You begin to trust your capacity to hold discomfort without collapsing. And that trust becomes the bridge between acceptance and action, between acknowledging your truth and walking towards something better. One of the most powerful realizations is this: you can accept your past without allowing it to control your future. You can accept your wounds without letting them decide who you become. Acceptance is not the end of the story, and it is the starting point. Because once you fully see yourself, once you meet yourself where you truly are, the path toward change becomes clearer, kinder, and far more sustainable. You no longer move from fear, you move from clarity. This is why the core paradox of healing is not a contradiction, but a partnership. When you lean too far into either side, you lose balance. But when you allow both to guide you, like two hands supporting the same heart, you create a life where growth feels possible and self-compassion becomes natural. Healing stops being a fight and starts becoming a process of rediscovery. As you move deeper into this work, you start to realize that acceptance and change are not just ideas. They are lived experiences. They show up in the smallest moments of your daily life. When you wake up feeling heavy and choose to sit with that heaviness instead of numbing it, that is acceptance. When you still choose to take a small step, a shower, a walk, a conversation, even though part of you wants to withdraw, that is change. Healing is built on these tiny decisions stacked over time, not grand transformations, not dramatic breakthroughs, just honest presence followed by gentle action. And perhaps the most overlooked truth is that this process is non-linear. Some days acceptance comes easily. You can breathe, you can feel, you can stay with yourself. Other days, your mind fights you, your body tenses, your emotions refuse to settle. On those days, change might feel too heavy to carry. This is not failure. It's the rhythm of being human. Healing does not erase the past. It teaches you how to move with it, how to respond to it differently, how to stop letting it dictate every choice you make. The paradox becomes clearer. Acceptance keeps you grounded. Change keeps you moving. A powerful shift happens when you stop treating healing like a destination, when you understand that acceptance is not something you do once, and change is not a single leap. They are continuous companions. There will be moments when acceptance feels like relief, a deep exhale. There will be moments when change feels like resistance, a quiet battle between who you've been and who you're becoming, but both experiences matter, both shape you, both are necessary. And over time, something inside you stabilizes. The fear you once had toward your own emotions begins to soften. The pressure you once placed on yourself to be better starts to ease. You stop expecting healing to happen instantly and begin trusting the slower, more realistic truth. Transformation happens in layers. Acceptance gives you the emotional safety to face those layers, and change gives you the courage to peel them back. Neither side asks you to be perfect, only to stay engaged, stay honest, stay willing. Eventually, you realize that the paradox is not meant to confuse you. It's meant to liberate you. You don't have to choose between loving yourself as you are and growing into the person you want to be. You can do both. You deserve to do both. And when you allow these two truths to coexist, healing becomes less about fixing your life and more about reclaiming your life, one breath at a time, one choice at a time. There comes a moment in every healing journey when you finally see that acceptance and change are not separate steps. They are the same movement, just expressed in different directions. Acceptance turns your attention inward, inviting you to witness your inner world with honesty. Change turns your attention forward, inviting you to shape your future with intention. One deepens your awareness, the other expands your possibilities. Together, they create a pathway through pain that is compassionate, sustainable, and real. You begin to understand that acceptance is what makes your emotional world safe enough to explore. When you stop rejecting your own feelings, your body stops bracing for impact. The nervous system relaxes, your breath opens, your mind becomes less defensive, more curious. This openness is what makes learning possible. It is what makes unlearning old survival strategies possible. Acceptance is the soil, the foundation without which nothing can grow. And then change steps in as the gentle architect of your life. Change does not demand that you leap. It does not shame you for moving slowly. It simply asks you to choose one new behavior, one new belief, one new response that breaks even a small piece of the old pattern. It asks you to trust that small steps accumulate, that consistency matters more than speed, and that healing built on compassion will always last longer than healing built on pressure. The real breakthrough happens when you recognize that acceptance supports change, and change reinforces acceptance. When you make a healthier choice, even a tiny one, you begin to trust yourself more. That self-trust increases your capacity to accept your emotions without fear. This acceptance then gives you more stability to make the next change. And so the cycle continues, a quiet upward spiral that gradually shifts the way you think, feel, and exist. This is why healing is rarely loud, rarely dramatic, rarely seen from the outside. It is slow, it is sacred, it is deeply internal. It is the moment you choose to breathe through discomfort, the moment you pause instead of react, the moment you speak truth instead of silence, the moment you allow yourself to be human instead of demanding perfection. Healing is made of countless micro moments where acceptance steadies you and change moves you forward. And over time, you start noticing the difference, not in how perfect you've become, but in how differently you relate to yourself. You are kinder with your mistakes, more patient with your feelings, braver with your choices. You realize you no longer need to run from your pain, nor fight it endlessly. You can sit with it, learn from it, and gradually transform because of it. This balance is the heart of the dialectic. At the deepest level, the dialectic of acceptance and change teaches us that healing is not a problem to solve, but a relationship to cultivate, a relationship with ourselves. Acceptance teaches patience. It reminds us to honor the journey, not just the destination. Change teaches courage. It reminds us that we are capable of growth, even when it feels difficult or scary. Together, they form a rhythm that is both stabilizing and energizing, like waves that rise and fall, always moving, always shaping the shoreline of who we are. When you embrace this paradox, you no longer feel torn between self-compassion and self-improvement. You can love yourself as you are, while also daring to evolve. You can grieve your losses, while also stepping into new opportunities. You can feel the weight of your past, while carrying hope for your future. Acceptance allows you to face reality without collapsing under it. Change allows you to shape reality without running from it. Both are essential, both are transformative, both are liberating. And perhaps the most profound truth is this: healing does not demand that we be perfect. It only demands that we be present, that we notice our feelings, that we honor them, that we respond with awareness, that we take one step forward when we can, and breathe deeply when we need to pause. The paradox becomes a compass, guiding us to move with integrity, curiosity, and compassion. It shows us that growth is not a race, but a dialogue, a continuous conversation between who we are and who we wish to become. So as you move forward in your own journey, remember this: acceptance and change are not enemies. They are partners, allies that, when held together, give us the power to heal in a way that is real, sustainable, and deeply human. You are allowed to feel fully, to stumble, to try again, and to transform all at the same time. That is the core paradox of healing. And once you embrace it, the path forward becomes not just possible, but deeply meaningful. As you continue on your healing journey, it's important to remember that this dialectic is not theoretical. It lives in your daily choices. Every interaction, every thought, every emotional wave is an opportunity to practice acceptance and change. When you feel triggered by someone's words or actions, instead of reacting impulsively, you can pause, breathe, and notice what is happening inside. That pause is acceptance, and when you then choose a response that aligns with your values, that moment becomes change. Each day is full of these micro practices, and over time, they accumulate into lasting transformation. Another subtle truth about this paradox is that it teaches humility. Healing is rarely linear, rarely fast, and rarely complete in the way we imagine. Some days, acceptance will feel effortless and change will feel impossible. Other days, change will come easily, while acceptance feels heavy and elusive. This fluctuation is natural. It is a sign that you are engaged with life, that you are awake to your inner world, and that growth is happening in real time. The dialectic encourages patience with yourself, with the process, and with the pace at which life unfolds. The paradox also shows that suffering is not the enemy. Resistance to suffering is what keeps it stuck. When we fight our pain, we strengthen it. When we honor it, even briefly, we create space for it to move and transform. Acceptance is not giving up, it is giving space. And change is the invitation to step forward when that space becomes safe enough to move. Together, they turn suffering from a trap into a teacher, revealing insights, resilience, and strength we might never have discovered otherwise. This dialectical approach reminds us that healing is not solitary. Even when the journey feels internal and private, the skills of acceptance and change are strengthened by connection, whether through therapy, friendships, or community. Witnessing your emotions safely, practicing small changes in supportive relationships, receiving guidance and feedback, these all enhance your capacity to navigate the paradox. Healing is personal, but it is also relational. The more we practice acceptance and change in safe spaces, the more confident we become in applying them in the wider world. Ultimately, the dialectic of acceptance and change is not about choosing one path over the other. It is about holding both paths simultaneously. It is about walking forward with both courage and compassion. It is about allowing yourself to feel fully and act intentionally. And as you embody this paradox, you discover something profound. True healing is not about eliminating pain, but about learning to live fully, deeply, and freely, even with it. To bring the dialectic of acceptance and change into daily life, start small. Begin by noticing your emotions without judgment. Allow yourself to say, "I feel this," and it is okay to feel this. Pause here. Breathe. Let your body register the truth of your experience. This simple act of acknowledgement is acceptance. It doesn't mean you have to act on every emotion. It simply means you are present with it, without pushing it away or trying to erase it. The more often you practice this, the stronger your capacity for emotional clarity becomes. And clarity is the first step toward meaningful change. Once you've acknowledged your feelings, ask yourself, what small step can I take right now that moves me in the direction of growth? Even a tiny action counts. Sending a message, setting a boundary, journaling a reflection, or simply taking a mindful breath before reacting. That is change. Over time, these small actions build momentum, demonstrating that transformation is possible without overwhelming your nervous system. Healing thrives in small, consistent choices, not dramatic leaps. The paradox works best when acceptance and change flow together, reinforcing each other gently but persistently. Another effective practice is to observe patterns without self-blame. Notice when you fall into old habits, when your mind loops in fear, anger, or self-criticism. And instead of labeling yourself as bad or weak, simply recognize the pattern. Pause, breathe, accept the moment as it is. Then identify one small adjustment you can make. This conscious awareness is the bridge between acceptance and change. It turns reactive cycles into intentional learning moments. Over time, the repetition of this practice rewires your brain, teaching you new ways to respond while honoring your current capacity. Reflection and journaling are powerful tools in this process. Take time each day or week to write down what you felt, what you accepted, and what small changes you attempted. Seeing your journey on paper reinforces your growth, highlights progress, and allows you to witness the dialectic in action. It shows you that acceptance does not mean stagnation, and change does not mean denial. Both coexist, and both contribute to healing in profound ways. Finally, remind yourself often, healing is a living practice. Some days you will lean heavily on acceptance, needing to feel deeply and pause. Other days, change will call you forward, urging you to act despite discomfort. Both experiences are essential, both are valid, both are part of the same rhythm. By practicing this dialectic consciously, you cultivate resilience, self-compassion, and the freedom to navigate life with both awareness and intention. The paradox, once embraced, stops being a challenge and becomes a guide, showing you that true healing is possible, patient, and profoundly human. As we come to the close of this journey, remember this: the paradox of acceptance and change is not a problem to solve. It is a path to live. Healing is not about erasing your past or eliminating discomfort. It is about learning to be fully present with yourself while stepping forward into growth. Every emotion you feel, every choice you make, every small action you take is part of this rhythm. Acceptance softens your heart, change strengthens your courage, and together they guide you toward freedom. Carry this truth with you. You do not need to be perfect to heal. You do not need to have everything figured out. All you need is the willingness to notice your reality, to hold it with compassion, and to take one intentional step forward, even if it is tiny. Each act of acceptance, each moment of change compounds over time, quietly reshaping the way you relate to yourself and the world. This is the essence of the dialectics, a balance that allows you to honor who you are and still reach for who you can become. And here's the final gift of this understanding. You are not at odds with yourself. You do not have to choose between self-love and growth. Both are possible, both are necessary, and both are within your reach. Healing is not a race. It is a dialogue between your past and your future, between your pain and your potential, between acceptance and change. Step into it gently, step into it consistently, and watch as your life begins to transform from the inside out. So take a deep breath, pause, and say to yourself, I can accept what I feel and I can choose to grow. Let this simple statement become your compass. Let it guide your choices, steady your emotions, and open the door to a life where you are fully seen, fully honored, and fully alive. This is the core paradox of healing. And once embraced, it becomes not just a lesson, but a way of being.